It's the Zone 96.3 where everything rocks on a Friday, and excited to announce on the phone with us today, Mr. Kenny Wallace. How you doing, man?
I am doing great. Really looking forward to getting out there to Big Sky Speedway in Billings, Montana, and breathing that fresh air.
That's right. Kenny Wallace, dirt track racing, coming Big Sky Speedway 1 week from tomorrow. That's Saturday, August 29th. And, of course, people know the name because you come from a big racing family. You spent 25 years in NASCAR, and I guess most recently we remember you from Fox. But now you're fully retired from Fox, and you still can't sit still, huh?
You know, when I was a kid, I drove my mom nuts, and she sent me to a therapist, and they said, well, he's diagnosed hyperactive. He's got Tourette's and ADD. So besides that, I'm good.
Well, you've always had a ton of energy. I love that about you.
Yeah.
I love following you on social media because you do a great job on there, and that's always a lot of fun to watch. And I understand this is going to be your first time to Billings.
I am. This is my first time out there, but I got to tell you, I've had a lot of people tell me how beautiful it is and how nice the racetrack is. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to racing, but most of all, hanging out with the fans after the races. And, you know, it just means a lot to me. A lot of people say, why are you racing after such a fun NASCAR career? And I said, the same reason our three-time champion Tony Stewart is racing. So there's a lot of us. You know, Tony Stewart, you know, you look at somebody like Bill Elliott, who's racing, you know, motocross, you know, through the woods, TNT they call it, and Kenny Schrader, Casey Kane. There's a lot of us NASCAR guys that are not racing NASCAR anymore, but we enjoy racing on our terms, and this is what I'm going to be doing at a Big Sky Speedway is racing on my terms, trying to win. You know, like the great Dale Earnhardt Sr. once said. He said, Kenny Wallace, there are thousands of great race car drivers all over the United States. So I expect there to be a lot of them there at Big Sky Speedway.
Yeah, and I suppose life feels like it moves pretty slow after going 200 miles an hour every weekend for 25 years.
You know, that's funny because speed is relative, and I am used to running, you know, 220 mile an hour at Atlanta Motor Speedway, getting in the corner, you know, with no restrictor plate, nothing to slow the motor down, just wide open. So, but, you know, like I said, it's all relative. You know, on a slow racetrack, somebody will say, hey, how fast you going? And I'll say, man, we're going 80 mile an hour. But it feels like I'm going 200, you know. So it's all relative.
And, of course, everybody knows you grew up in a racing family. Your dad was a racer, and, of course, your brother, Rusty Wallace, and your other brother, Mike Wallace. A lot of competition between the three of you growing up?
I thought that was a joke for a minute. Your brother, Larry, and your other brother, Larry. You know what? There was not, and I'll tell you why. My brother and a NASCAR champion, my brother Rusty Wallace, you know, Rusty's 7 years older than me. So he was always old enough to where I really looked up to him. Now, my therapist did say I had a sibling rivalry. That's why they said I was seeking attention. I said, well, I could have saved you a lot of time. I could have told you I was seeking attention, but not from my brother. So, you know, I just really looked up to my brother, Rusty, and my brother, Mike. You know, Rusty's 7 years older, Mike's 4 years older. When brothers are that much older than you just want to do what they're doing, you know. So thank God for awesome brothers, because if it weren't for my brothers, I wouldn't be a race car driver. They helped me get started, and I love them very much.
What did you decide dirt track racing? I know there's tons of other options, but this is just the one that you enjoy the most, or what?
You know, great question. The reason I decided dirt track racing, I was watching a documentary one day on the great race car driver A.J. Foyt and Mario Andretti.
Uh-huh.
And they would run the Indianapolis 500 on asphalt, you know, the greatest race of all, right?
Right.
And then that night or the next day, they would run down to Terre Haute, Indiana, a dirt track, the action track. And it dawned on me, oh my gosh, A.J. Foyt and Mary Andretti, they are the term called a racer. A racer is somebody that gets in a car and will race anything, anytime. And I wanted to run dirt. I wanted to try it. So I'd run 905 NASCAR races. I ranked 12th in the history of the sport. And I have the most starts in the Xfinity Series, the second NASCAR series. So I run so much asphalt, it's unbelievable. And I ran a lot of asphalt before NASCAR. So I wanted to be like A.J. Foyt and Mary. I wanted to try dirt. And boy, once I tried it, I got addicted to it. It was like a game. I just kept hitting the reset button. I want to try this again. I want to get better. And, I just love it. I truly love it. It gives me a lot to do.
Racing looks a little bit different in 2020, as does everything. What do you think about racing with nobody in the stands? I know it's a sport that maybe doesn't affect the participants quite as much as some of the other sports, but it's got to be a little weird.
You know what? I think that's one reason I like dirt racing so much right now. I'm just in love with dirt racing because, we're able to put fans in the grandstands, at a safe social distance, people respecting each other. And it does upset me that a lot of these NASCAR tracks don't even try. Bristol, Tennessee, which is one of our NASCAR tracks, they put, a little over 22,000 people in the race track at a safe social distance. But all the other tracks, I just, first of all, it's weird. It's not right. You look at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, it seats 300,000 people.
Right.
And they didn't even try to put 10,000 people in. You could have put 50,000 people in there, and they wouldn't have seen each other. So, I know your question was a simple one. You were probably thinking I was going to say, "Oh, it's weird," but I really just think it's a little out of hand. It's overdone. A lot of these NASCAR tracks could easily, put in 30,000 people because of all these asphalt tracks in NASCAR, they all seat, 100,000 people. These grandstands are huge in NASCAR, so
right.
I don't know why they won't try anything, but we'll see. They keep going towards the end of this year.
I did see you've got a really good seat in Busch Stadium for the St. Louis Cards games for your cardboard cutout.
How about that? I'm so excited that I just can't hide it. Yeah, you know what? I know the Cardinals very well. I am lucky where I know the man in charge of ticket sales, Rob Fasselton. I know Rob with the St. Louis Cardinal baseball team because he used to work at Gateway, which is our local racetrack here. We have NASCAR races, with the truck series here, but I said, man, when you put them, Oakland, California, they started putting those cardboard cutouts. He goes, well, I don't know. And that was about a month ago. So thank God they did it. And I sent them a picture. I'm excited. It's a lot of fun. It's, it's something that, this is probably the toughest time since, since, the 1930s, since the 60s, I think since 1970 through this time, we've had it pretty good. And I think those cardboard cutouts are something, we're living in real tough times right now with this virus. So the cardboard cutouts are the one thing to have fun with. So we'll have a good time with it.
Well, and I know that we're all looking forward to getting out of the house and doing something, and so we appreciate you coming. Of course, 1 week from tomorrow, Big Sky Speedway, Kenny Wallace's dirt racing. Gates open at 6, green flag drops at 7:25. You're going to be racing the A-Mods?
I'll be racing A-Mods, and I'll also be drinking 3 Bud Lights after the race. 3 for Dale Earnhardt. Woo!
That's great. You know what? I remember you from so far back that when I hear the name Kenny Wallace, I get thirsty for Red Dog beer. And they don't even sell it anymore.
Oh, my God. Yeah, they don't. And I tell you what, that was one of the most fun sponsors we ever had. Red Dog beer that was made by Miller Brewing. And Yeah, it was around, but I guess it didn't sell real good. But boy, the logo was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the logo was cool. Yeah, tickets and meet and greet passes, we've got those. We've got more chances to win them. And again, Kenny Wallace's Dirt Racing coming Saturday, August 29th at Big Sky Speedway. And Kenny, one last question for you. Between Rusty, Mike, and you, who's the best driver of the three?
Honestly, my brother Mike, raw talent, really good. Me and Rusty spend too much time working on the race cars. Mike just gets in the damn thing and kicks our butt.
I was told that I was probably interrupting you today while you were out trying to work on your race car.
I worked late last night. I work every day. Actually, getting ready to go out to Kenny Schrader's right now as I speak to pick up some parts and deliver him some oil. We trade a lot. I have some oil that Kenny Schrader wants, and he has some items that I need.
That's awesome. Well, Kenny, we are looking forward to seeing you next weekend. Thank you so much for calling in, and we'll see you next Saturday.
I'm excited to get out to Big Sky Speedway. See y'all later.
All right, Kenny, thanks.